Okay. All right, so we've got a tremendous opportunity ahead of us this week. We get a chance to go to Notre Dame, #5 team in the country, and play on national TV. So it's exciting. Should be a lot of fun.
What was the focus yesterday for you all when you came back in?
The focus yesterday for us was going back and breaking down the film and looking at all the mistakes that we made, and seeing that we look like a team that if we could get our mistakes corrected, if we could if we could take care of the things within our team right now, then we could be a decent football team. But until we do that, it's going to be tough.
You really sounded frustrated about the offense, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
What really kind of limited you guys?
You name it. I mean, whether it was a guy flinching, guy jumping off sides, missed assignment here. I mean, and again, it would be easy if it was just one guy. We could replace one guy, but that's not the way it is. It's we take turns shooting ourselves in the foot right now. And so again, we've got to get. The good thing is that everything that's sitting there is correctable. We just got to get it corrected.
How are you guys confidence-wise offensively?
Yeah, you're confident. I mean, I would say fine, but I'm not a guy that wavers up and down on my confidence based on one game. I mean, I don't know how you do that. I mean, there's frustration involved, but I don't think there's a lack of confidence in what we do or how we do things.
How do you feel like the offense bounced back in practice yesterday?
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot on Sundays. I mean, I can tell you that better after Tuesday's practice, and I'll tell you what I expect from them. I expect them to be fine. I expect them to come out there with a purpose, to get better on Tuesday and practice really hard so that we can play our best on Saturday.
The running game the other day with the 9 conventional runs to the tailbacks, how much of that was because they just couldn't get the job done physically? How much of it was scheme? How much was a combination?
Well, some of it was, probably the majority of it was scheme. I mean, if you notice, just about, I would say, every time but once when Oct6 ran the ball, it was big yards. I mean, it was, and it was because of what they were doing and what they were giving us. And so, yeah, you'd love to get the tailbacks more involved, but if they're gonna play it that way and let our quarterback run for 10, 12 yards a pop, then I mean it's hard not to take advantage of those things.
At the same time, you guys have talked about how you don't want Oct6 to run that much, taking those hits.
We don't want him to have to do that, but I mean, but every time he did run the ball the other day, it was big yardage.
Well, Mitch also had a 16-yard
yeah,
run too.
I'm saying the quarterback position.
Yeah, exactly.
In the quarterback position, I mean, so you gain when you're talking about schematics, you're gaining a number when your quarterback runs the ball, and so actually, and most of those runs, the running back was the lead blocker and did a really nice job on it, and so, again, it's all about taking advantage of what they give you. Would I love for them to get, would I love for it to be where our running back was more involved in carrying the football? Yes, I would, but unfortunately, that's just not the way it was the other day.
You talked about the mistakes, the little things you have to fix. Do you have a clear idea of what this team offensively does well and what it can't do as well right now? I mean, I know it changes a little bit every year.
Yeah, I got a feel for it. I can tell you what we don't do well is when we continue to make mistakes on an individual basis. Just the smallest details are the things that keep us from being good on offense, and that's really in every phase of the game. I mean, it still boils down to the details, and people, when you talk about that, people say, yeah, but that's really what it is. I mean, when a guy is lined up and he flinches, it's just a small thing, but all it is, it kills the play, and you back up 5 yards, and you start 1st and 15 or whatever it is, down the distance-wise. That's a small thing, but it still hurts the team. It hurts the flow. It hurts the continuity of what you're trying to achieve. Puts you behind the chains, and so it's just a small detail, but it's very, very important to the success of your football team. And that's just a small example, actually.
Ryan's fumbled punt, he called a fair catch. Was that a concentration issue? Is that why you fumbled that ball?
He let the ball get on his chest. Actually, if you saw, the ball hit him up here instead of catching it down where he normally does. It was more of a kind of a floating type of ball. If you notice, it was not a spiral. and sometimes those can be a little tricky, but it's nothing that he shouldn't be able to handle.
He had taken a pretty big shot a couple of minutes before he went back to field the punt. Did you have any reticence in putting him back out there?
I did. I mean, I didn't put him back out there, but when he was back out there, I wasn't worried about him. I figured they wouldn't put him out there if he wasn't, if he wasn't able to go. And so, and he was confident that he could do it. I wouldn't say that it had anything to do with it. I don't know that.
You talked on Saturday that you felt like Mitch maybe wouldn't get enough time to show what he could do on the field. Does that mean, are you guys looking at maybe changing how you do that rotation, more or less?
We may. I mean, we haven't spent a lot of time talking about it right now. We're spending all of our time watching, Notre Dame at this point, but we haven't really gotten to that point of talking schematics through the week and what we're going to do. But the pick six was not all. I can assure you it wasn't all his fault if you look at it on film and you can see it. But it was just a small detail, that a guy not doing exactly the way he practiced it, and it's six going the other way. So it's just another example of us shooting ourselves in the foot. I'm not going to take anything from the Fuller kid. I won't take anything away from him. He made the play, but we didn't do anything like we did it or do it in practice on that play.
You're talking about the route. I remember you said that on Saturday.
What have you liked about that rotation when you see other defensive?
One, it's you're getting Mitch some more reps in case gets into a situation where he has to go. So he's getting a little bit of experience. It gives Queese a break also. Because if you watch Queese, he's carrying the load right now. He's running the football. He's taking a lot of hits when he throws the football. So I don't think it's a bad thing for him either. I don't. Again, whether people think it's working or not. I mean, we haven't been successful. So you can say that's the reason we're not successful. I don't think that has anything to do with the reason that we're not successful right now.
How much, you said the other day, what he just said a second ago, that we hadn't seen enough of them. You've obviously seen more with practice, but how much have you seen of him in the game that gives you confidence in his ability moving forward in case he had to be thrust into play if Marquise gets popped or something?
Well,
What do you like about what he does?
I mean, Mitch, because he can run the offense. I mean, Mitch doesn't have a problem running the offense. I mean, he knows what we're doing. I think he's comfortable throwing the ball. He's, there's little things that only experience are going to help him with. But he's still, he's still progressing week to week, and I think he'll be fine.
Larry, what does this team have to do on Saturday on both sides of the ball to avoid the kind of starts that you've gotten off to in your last 2 games?
Yeah, we really just need to take care of the details, the small things. We really need to focus on just ourselves right now. And again, I keep saying that week to week, and that's just taking care of the little, just the little things. I mean, offensively from one guy hearing a play different from somebody else, from somebody jumping off sides to the center not snapping it when you're supposed to it's just the smallest things, the way we go on the field, the way we come off the field. Every detail, all of it matters in how we're going to play. And so really, the focus needs to be on us. That's where it needs to be, And, fortunately or unfortunately, we're fixing to play a really good football team, So I look at it as a tremendous opportunity. Other people may not look at it that way right now, but I think it's a great thing that we get an opportunity to go on the road and play the number 5 team in the country on national TV.
You've expressed some concern at times just about the mental state of the guys after some of these losses. What do you sense?
Well, you always do, especially when you have a young football team and you don't have a lot of older guys that have been in the wars and the battles, and so I'm always watching to see how they react and what their mental state of mind is, or what their state of mind is as far as how they react to everything. So I expect I'll get a better feel on Tuesday, but I know what I expect, and I really think that these guys will come out there and they'll come out with a purpose and they'll come out to get better on Tuesday, and we're going to continue to focus on just the details.
Have you been okay with intangible things like effort and hustle and all of those?
Yeah, I thought. We probably, as a team, didn't handle the adversity that we dealt ourselves from the first play of the game, and then I think it took probably a good quarter before we started playing with the type of energy that we needed to play. Now, we still didn't have the success offensively. You know, we didn't have that throughout the entire game, basically. But defensively, we started playing with more energy. We started getting more hats to the ball. We started tackling better. We started doing the things that we needed to do. So I do think that the effort is there. I think it's there, but we still have to do a better job of overcoming adversity, especially when we deal it to ourselves.
Coach, this is a good time to be playing the other day. You're coming off an emotional game. You're coming off a game in which you want to prove yourselves to be better than what you showed. It's a good time.
Oh, I think it's a great time. Like I said, I think it's a tremendous opportunity sitting before us right now. You know, so it should be a lot of fun. It should be a lot of fun to find out how we're going to respond and who we are, and should be a great game.
Defensive line made progress the last couple of weeks. They did a good job staying low and handling their assignments through their day. What is it about that group that's come forward the last 2 weeks and progressed as much as they have?
Well, I think they've taken the challenge. They're doing a better job of maintaining their gaps and not trying to do too much. Just stay in your gap, do what you're supposed to do, and know that somebody else is going to be in the other gap. And so I think they're doing a much better job of that. If you watch when the ball's thrown, we're getting pressure on the quarterback, and they're also doing a good job of getting, you know, and retracing and get back down the field.
Are they the position group that's progressed the most since the start of, say, September, since the Liberty game? As a group?
Yeah, you could say that. I think so. That'd be fair to say.
Coach, can you just elaborate on Eric Olson and the problems that he poses to you when he's on?
Well, he's, I mean, you know, they're going to go as far as he takes them. I mean, he's really a good player. He can run and beat you with his legs. I mean, on any play, he can turn a very ordinary play into a great play. And then he's got a tremendous arm. He's throwing the ball all over the place right now. I think he's somewhere around 65, 66% on the season at this point. He's got, you know, big receivers that can do a great job with their bodies. He's got a really nice offensive line that he's benefiting from, and the running backs are benefiting from him. They got a really good offensive line. So, you know, but Everett, he's what makes it tick. I mean, he's a really good football player.
But you know, it's a business trip. Will we allow your guys to soak in some of the history that is Notre Dame when you guys head there?
Well, really, you know, we don't get that opportunity. I mean, we stay, I think we're an hour away from where, you know, we go in there and you're there a couple hours before the game and you leave after the game. So there's not a whole lot of time for soaking up anything. So I'd rather go in there and try to make some.
Have you coached up there in a game there?
No, I've never been there.
Coach, told us in the preseason you felt the offensive line was one of the primary concerns and would determine how this team does. How were they on Saturday? What kind of grade would you give them, and how big of a part of the issue is that group of this offense?
Well, we still got a long way to go. You know, I mean, it was good to have Landon back, you know, and so to get some stability up there, but we're still too many mistakes. I mean, and again, it goes back to those details, just the small things, you know, that you would, you know, that you get frustrated with. You'd like them to gel even faster. You know, we're playing with two right tackles that were hobbled the entire game the other day. So it was very frustrating. We threw Bentley Spain over on the right side, and he finished up the game on the right side. So you know, but yeah, we got a long way to go up front. We really do.
Was that because of performance?
What's that?
That Bentley finished up?
The other two couldn't finish, so we had to put him over there. It was either that or you know, I put Cap out there.
Okay. No, I didn't realize that. The secondary, what did you like that you saw from them Saturday that you hadn't seen previously, and how much did it have to do with the front line?
Well, I think that would, you know, where the week before we had some major mental mistakes, especially at our safety position. That game the other day was probably the best our safeties have played all year as a unit, you know, and I'm talking all three of them. They really played well. We had one mistake early. And after that, it was they did a nice job. They did a great job with their eye discipline. They fit the gaps that they were supposed to. They tackled well. I mean, it was you know. So I think you know, the corners were where they were supposed to be. They were on guys. I mean, there were a couple plays made on the sideline that we had guys all over them, and they make, you know, the quarterback throws it up and they make an incredible play, and they review it and look at it and look at it and look at it, and you know, they make a great play. So. But our guys were right where you want them. I mean, they were right where they needed them to be. And if the pass was any different, it probably was an incompletion. The kid made a good throw. So.
You mentioned Golson. What have you seen from Notre Dame defense?
well, what, number 3 scoring defense in the country right now. They're big. They're big. They can run on the back end, and they, you know, not that they can't run on the front end. Number 9, the linebacker, the will linebacker, can really run. He's really a good football player, and they're really big up front. I mean, they're 300 plus across the front and do a really nice job. They're strong. So again, we will have our work cut out for us up there.
You talk a lot about details and little things. In your experience, are those types of mistakes, are there something that kind of you can flip the switch and fix, or is that something that takes more time to get corrected?
Oh, you can fix it. You can fix it whenever you decide as an individual you want to fix it, you know. I mean, I've been talking about it from the beginning, and we'll continue to talk about it until those switches do flip. You know, we'll get it going. We'll get it corrected. But sometimes as an individual, you're worried about all the big things and the big picture, and you forget about just the smallest detail of that we just need you to take a 6-inch step at a 45-degree angle with your right foot and not take a drop step. I mean, and so well, how important is that? It's just like everything else. Every detail is very important, or we wouldn't give you the detail. You know, we just say step. You know, so you know, we do have to get all of those, and sometimes when you're dealing with young kids, that's not their focus is not on the smallest details. Their focus is on everything that's going on. So, all right,
Good.
all right, thank y'all.